Hi, my name is Miri, and I've been writing Miri messages for you for a number of years now, and we're transitioning into creating videos instead. It'll be easier for everybody. So today's topic is choice around our feelings. Descartes has said, I think, therefore I am. And I would say, I feel, therefore I am. For as long as I can remember, even though I have a very active and busy mind, I also have a very strong feeling body. Very sensitive, empathic, very sensitive, super sensitive, and I feel. And I would say in the past that I have been hijacked by my feelings, it would appear. Meaning that there would be nothing, once a feeling started to arise in me, there would be nothing that I could do to change the direction of that feeling. And often it would be an uncomfortable or a negative feeling. It wasn't the joy I was looking to change. It was the conflict within me, the agitation, the distress within me. That was always, if you look, our feelings are always accompanied by some thinking. Maybe perhaps some thinking prior that triggered an emotional feeling, an emotional reaction. But here I am, hijacked, taken right down the rabbit hole, and nothing I could do about it. I feel, therefore I am. And it made me feel extremely out of control. Now, if I look, I would say that even my thinking made me feel out of control because I couldn't stop that either. But I was particularly aware of my feelings that were truly like clouds that would come and go, seemingly unbidden, and would leave of their own accord. I feel, therefore I am. And I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all because I couldn't control it. And I thought that my feelings needed to be controlled. I thought my feelings needed to be controlled. So I was judging myself. I assumed people around me were judging me. Not a very happy place to be in your body. It's been a really interesting ride these past few years. So many of us are waking up, we would say, beginning to realize that we are so much more than who the personality is, so much more than our personality, so much more than the way that we identify ourselves, that we are consciousness, that we are the divine embodied in a human form. Now, at this point in my existence, those are very lovely words, but I can't say that I get that on an embodied level. But let's go back to the subject of this video. Choice and feelings. And the shame that I couldn't control these. So one day I was very blessed to have the most beautiful client with me. I mean, they're all beautiful, and she's a precious one. And we were talking about these feelings that come and go, and I just realized they're hues, colors. We know that colors in the world that we live in come in all kinds of shades and hues, and that's what makes them so beautiful. And for the moment, I just had this realization and understanding that it's the shades, the hues of our emotions in this physical body that are actually a gift in this body that we can experience them. And they're not something to be pulled away from. They're something to actually be open to and sometimes explored, because our feelings are our messengers, especially the not so happy ones, the ones that have us angry or jealous or worried, agitated, anxious. Those are the ones I'm talking about. Those are the ones that are unacceptable to us in our personal form. And I've been hijacked in the past, and I didn't think that there was anything else but to be hijacked by them and wait until they were done with me and hope that they wouldn't return. So the past few years, as I began to say earlier, there's been lots of shifting on the planet, and I'll talk about that in another video. But just to have that awareness that I know you have if you've watched this video this far, that awareness that we've been all going through a lot of changing. And what's been happening is the light has been coming in, and as the light comes in, it shines on those places where the darkness has been holding. So I had quite a time with some issues about worrying about my children, my grandchildren, and I'll share, perhaps in another video, all the details of that. But let me just say it succinctly like this. I would wake up in the middle of the night, and we're vulnerable in the middle of the night, and my first thought was, what about blah, 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 that usually was a worry thought, in this case about my grandchildren. And you know how it is, you get into bed and you start to relax and sleep and try to go to sleep, and then you begin to worry. Or I would find myself waking up in the morning and the first thought is, okay, along the same lines, what do I need to do? What do I need to be aware of? All around whatever I was worried about. Well, that really burned its way through me over the past few years, and I would say that I'm pretty much have an awareness and the gift and the grace of being on the other side of that. One day I'll tell you about that and how that happened, and I would say it was a gift of grace, because you have to be in the fire. You have to allow those feelings and those thoughts to come up, and grace will carry you out of the fire and lift you as the phoenix. So anyway, there I am, noticing as I'm going to sleep, as in the middle of the night when I wake up, first thought in the morning, worry and anxiety about whatever I was worried and anxious about. And I use the example of my grandchildren. I burned through most of it. And here's where the choice comes. I allowed myself to feel. I allowed myself the discomfort. It was not easy. I got support. Thank you everyone that supported me in terms of helping me to look, helping me to feel something that to the core, down to really where the root was entangled, so that this time, in this lifetime, I and we, because I am the same as you, could finally pull up and out that piece that had been so stuck in me, that was causing me so much pain, so much worry, so much anxiety. I allowed myself to feel. I was taken into all those difficult places, and I moved beyond them. And yet still, and this is my point of choice, I noticed a few weeks ago that I woke up in the middle of the night one night, and immediately I fell into that groove in the record, that worry about what about and what do I need to do and what about, because it is like a groove in the record. Brain research is showing us that we have those neural tracks. But I stopped and I said, I'm not going there. I'm done with that. I am done with that. I am not dancing with you. Get out of my head. You have no place in me anymore. And I took several deep breaths. I invited the angels in. I asked them to help me move beyond this, because I knew I was done, and I knew it was just kind of tempting me, those feelings and those thoughts, to see if they could come back. And I thought about something happy, and I thought about good things. And I loved myself for all that I had been through, and for my wisdom and the strength and the courage to realize that I could make a choice. I had done enough work that I don't need to dance with those feelings anymore. And you know what? It worked. It's not to say that they didn't come back again on another morning when I first woke up and it was that groove in the record. Oh, but again, it was like, no, I don't have to go there. I'm done. And I would tell you that for the first time in this body, in this lifetime, I got that I have a choice. I am not a victim here any longer. I can choose the feelings that I embrace, that I allow in my life, that I dance with. And I would also tell you that one of the most potent medicines is gratitude. Gratitude resets your vibrational field. It resets your vibrational field and lifts it so that those dark, shadowy things really can't come in as easily anymore. Now, I don't want you to misunderstand this message in this video and think that you can bypass. This is not a spiritual bypass message. This doesn't mean that I don't have work to do and I didn't have work to do and I could choose something else. I had work to do. The work I had to do was showing up in my life with a lot of pain and issue and experience one after the other to allow me to turn back, to turn again toward those feelings and experiences and be with them differently. Enough so that I'm not taken down that rabbit hole anymore. I have a choice, and I feel more joy in my life and more gratitude and more acceptance than I ever had before. And if you know me and if you've been reading my Miri messages, you know that it has not been an easy dance. So, more tomorrow. I wish you a wonderful evening, and know that even if you're one of those that would say, I feel, therefore I am, choice is possible, and I am the living example. Check out my Miri messages at mirimessages.blogspot.com, and you can also see my website, www.opportunitiesfortransformation.com. Get in touch with me. Let's have a chat. How can I support you? How can I support you in moving out of the rabbit hole once and for all and into the freedom and the light and the spaciousness and the joy of your true self? I love you. Good night.